Namaste yogis, Melissa here from Mystical Stone. So today's restorative yoga is all about moving the prana into the lower parts of the body. We're going to be working with Muladhara chakra. And as you can see, I have my bolster here, but if you would like to go onto your chair shavasana, you can go ahead. If you have soreness of the lower back, the hips, I highly recommend you actually grab a chair and get your legs up the chair, or go near a couch and get your legs up. Otherwise, you can have a large pillow or a bolster to get your knees over the prop. You can have blankets, pillows, or blocks to get your head on them if you want that extra support. And if you have a strap, just keep it handy just for later in case you want to use it. You don't have to use it, but just have it handy. So you're gonna bring your hands by your sides, palms facing up, close your eyes, and take a couple of long, deep breaths. And as soon as you start breathing slower, you might start noticing that your body needs to get adjusted. So you can wiggle your hips or move side to side. You may adjust your legs, your feet, maybe even your shoulders. Sometimes we don't realize that the upper back is arched and we're not right away placing the the rib cage on the floor. So we do want to release completely the upper back, release the neck, release the shoulders, and then expand every time you inhale. And every time you exhale, let your navel drop and release all tension. Breathing in, we're going to practice the Dirga Pranayama, or the three-part breath. Expand, and breathing out, let the navel drop. With every breath you take, see if you can expand your tummy a little bit more, just so that you can allow the muscle at the bottom of your rib cage to expand, so that maybe, just maybe, you can get a little more oxygen into your lungs, a little more prana in. And when you're ready, release your navel down, emptying your body. And you might notice when your navel goes down, your rib cage from the frontal part kind of pops forward a little bit. And that's okay. Just feel that squeeze of the navel soften as you take your next inhalation. You're going to continue to breathe in this way, not only focusing on the front of the body, but also the sides and the back. The deeper we breathe, the lower the prana goes. So every time you take that inhalation and expand your belly, you're working with the lower lobes of the lungs, which are connected to your Muladhara chakra. So today we are sending the prana into the lower parts of the body, base of the spine, legs, feet. Breathing in. Breathing out. Rising and falling. Listen to the sound of your own breath, and you may picture the ocean. With that sound, you may picture yourself near the shore, listening to the waves, Just approaching you gently. And then going back into the vast ocean. And so your prana and your apana is that dance between giving and receiving. When you inhale, you receive the energy from the universe, that cosmic energy that fills up every corner of your being. And every time you exhale, you give it back. And so you also release all of those little stuck pieces of energy, that stagnant energy, back into the world, back into the earth. And once again, breathing in and breathing out. On your next inhalation, wiggle your toes, move your feet side to side. It is your choice if you want to stay on chair shavasana, or if you choose, you can move your feet on the chair, on the seat of the chair, and then allow your foot soles to move together to touch, and then release your knees out to the sides. So you'll have a butterfly position right from the chair. You can adjust if you need to. If you are on your bolster, you can have your feet on the bolster and go into butterfly position. This is a deeper extension for your hips, so you don't have to do it this way. If you need more support for your knees, and if you're on your bolster, you can rest your feet on the floor and have your knees on the bolster. It is your choice whether you do it on the chair, or you can get rid of the chair, get your prop, your bolster or pillow, and go into your Supta Baddha Konasana with your prop. Now, once you get onto your chosen asana, to relax your legs, if you have a support under your head, check if your neck has already enough extension, and then maybe you release your head straight down on the floor. Adjust your head, so maybe bring your hands to the back of the neck, lift your head gently, tuck your chin slightly, and then release the back of the head onto the floor. Then allow your elbows to rest on the ground. Maybe bring your arms at a goalpost posture with your palms facing up. Move your head side to side just to make sure that you find softness on the neck. Although you are extending a little more than usual, you still want to find some relaxation here on the cervical spine. And then bring your head back to center, relax and breathe. And once again, we're going to try to expand into the lower parts of the belly as we inhale, into the sides of the body, back body, all the way to the collarbone. And then exhale, release from chest, side ribs, and belly. Don't let your mind wander, find your rhythm. If it works for you, bring your thumbs inside your palms and wrap it with your fingers, both hands, for Adi Mudra, without tensing the mudra, but making sure that it's firm. Notice if that changes the quality of your breath. Adi Mudra helps to send the energy into the Manipura chakra, or the solar plexus, also known as your power center, but it also guides it down into your Muladhara. You may notice that the breath changes in length and maybe sensation. You may even notice that it is one nadi that is working more than the other. Maybe one nostril becomes dominant. Maybe you feel the breath passing more through your throat. Pay attention. How does your breath changes with this mudra? Rising and falling. Keep your face and your jaw relaxed. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. Release your mudra, wiggle your fingers. Maybe slowly move your hands at an A frame, somewhere by your hips. Observe. If you are on your chair, you're gonna bring your knees together and mindfully push your chair out of the way. Get a pillow or a bolster and place it under your knees instead. If you are on the bolster, bring your knees together, extend your legs down, straight forward in just a supported Shavasana for a few moments. Watch your breath. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. On your next inhalation, you may blink your eyes open and bring your arms at a T position. Bend your knees and bring your foot soles on your bolster. Squeeze your buttocks, tuck your tailbone, pick up the hips, and move them towards the right edge of the mat. Then walk your feet towards the right edge of the bolster and allow your knees to fall towards the left. So you may rest your lower legs on the bolster. So right from the left ankle all the way onto the knee, you're resting that part of your leg on the bolster. Other knee is on top. It depends how it feels to be here. Chances are that you're gonna feel some engagement on your hip flexor on the right side. If you feel any pressure on your lower back, something that you can do is to place a blanket or a block or even a pillow right in between your knees for that extra support. And if it's not enough, by all means, get extra props so that you get more space between the knees, and that will release your lower back. Then bring your arms at a T position if they're not there, and maybe move your gaze towards the right hand. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You want to find that place where you can fully relax and let go. We are sending the prana down into the base of the spine and into the legs. If you want to continue to work with a mudra, maybe this time around we work with Gyan Mudra, thumbs and index touch, extending other 3 fingers. You do want to keep your body relaxed, especially the upper body. It might be trying to help the legs. Also pay attention to your glutes. Make sure they are not helping the rotation of the spine, rising and falling. Let us take 2 more breaths here. When you are ready, release your mudra, bring your nose towards the sky. Allow your knees to move up, foot soles on your prop. Squeeze your bum, tuck your tailbone. You can squeeze your props if you have, and then lift your hips and move them towards the left side of the mat. You may move your feet towards the left corner of the bolster, and then allow your knees to roll towards the right. Take your time so that you can adjust your lower leg on the bolster. Adjust your blocks or bolster or pillows between the knees if you have. Arms at a T position. Make sure that you find relaxation on this side too, and that you're not putting any pressure on your lower back or your hips. And then maybe turn your gaze to the left hand. If you're working with your Gyan Mudra, go into it now, thumb and index touch. And then once again, find deep relaxation. Once your body is in that position where you can let go of your muscles, then we try to engage with the mind. We observe the breath, just to give the mind a rest. Let us take 2 more breaths here. Release your mudra. Bring your knees back up. Put your props to the side. Maybe help your hips to the center and then extend your legs down on the bolster. Maybe bring your hands by your hips, palms facing up. Make any adjustments. We're not going to stay here for too long, but while we stay, we want to be comfortable. Focus on your breath once more. Don't let your mind go away. Send your breath and awareness down to your feet. Wiggle your toes. Move your feet side to side. Wiggle your fingers. Now stretch your arms either to your sides or overhead. Extend your legs over the bolster. Stretch. Squeeze your buttocks. Press the back of the legs against the bolster and pick up the hips. And squeeze and breathe. Flex or point your feet, whatever feels right. You can try them both and actually alternate. Make sure that you're gently tucking your chin so you're not putting any strain on the neck. When we engage the glutes and the thighs, we target the nervous system. These are big muscles and they actually create a lot of energy. So we're going to squeeze one more time, or maybe a little tighter if you're still squeezing, and stretch and tense. Tight, 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 tight fist. And then exhale. Slowly release. Release your feet. Bring your hands by your sides. Notice your heartbeat and notice your breath. Notice the release, that a panic flow that is just removing that stagnant energy. At your own time, bend your knees and bring your foot soles on the bolster. Pick up the hips, tuck the tailbone, and move your knees side to side. You allow your knees to go as far down as it feels right for you. Come back to center when you're ready and get a hold of your bolster. Bring it a little bit higher. Then you're gonna rest your feet on the floor and we're gonna go into a bridge pose and place the bolster under the hips. So when you are ready, allow your feet to be about fist distance apart. Activate your feet, your legs, your glutes, tuck your tailbone, and then pick up your hips. Then pass that bolster right under it. Have your strap handy if you have one. Like in my case, I have a scarf. I haven't been able to trace my strap back, so this one will do. And when you're ready, just bring your knees in towards your chest. And remember that you can always adjust the bolster, move it a little bit lower so that your tailbone easily tucks in, going into that posterior position, sorry. And that will automatically send your knees towards your chest without you having to do anything. Just gravity takes over. And that can be just where you stay without putting any more pressure. Or maybe if you want a little more, you can hold onto the top of the knees, the shins, or the back of the thighs. Throw your shoulders into their sockets. Maybe move your head side to side. And once you find that spot that feels right for you, right at the center, relax and observe. This is like being in child's pose, but without putting all that pressure on the knees and the ankles. You still have that roundness of the back, so you should be able to feel some demand across the lower back. You may even feel your hip flexors. You do want to make sure that you're not having like a tall support under your head, because we don't want to hyperextend the neck. So make sure your head straight down on the floor. It's important. Relax your jaw, relax your face. And just with every exhalation, you just allow your knees to soften just a bit closer to your chest, but without forcing them. This can be like an inversion for some of us. So if you start feeling pressure on your eyes or temples, you can let go of the legs if you're holding onto them and move your knees just slightly away from you so that you don't keep building onto that pressure. And if that's not enough, you can rest your foot soles onto the floor. So always checking in with the body. If you're comfortable still holding onto your legs, we're gonna stay here for a couple more breaths. On your next inhalation, gonna let go of your legs one at a time. Start moving your feet towards the floor. So you can have your knees first over the hips and then release one foot at a time on the ground. Once your feet are on the floor, you can check in with your hips, with your lower back. If this is enough, you can stay here and breathe. If you feel like you can go a little bit further into the stretch of the hip flexors, you may release your legs forward, just extending one at a time, making sure that you're balancing your hips on your prop. Release your hands by your sides, close your eyes, and observe your breath. You may notice a release, that a panic release when your legs are away from your tummy. First, we build the pressure, it's just a little bit harder to breathe, but as soon as we release, you might feel that fresh prana coming back in. And you can maybe imagine the ocean once again, allowing the energy in and then letting it out. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. Wiggle your toes, bend your knees, and bring your foot soles back onto the floor. If you need to adjust your hips on the bolster, pick up the hips, adjust, and then bring your knees in once more. So once your knees are in, you can check with your neck, with your head, And you may place your strap at the back of the legs so that you are not, depending how close your knees are from your tummy. And they might not stay that close, by the way. So once you get a hold of either your legs or the strap, I'm going to do the strap because I know my legs are not going to be that close to my chest once I start extending. So I'll do the strap. Then try to keep your legs where they are once you have that grip and start extending your hamstrings. So extend your legs, flex your feet, and breathe here. And just really checking in with your hamstrings, with your lower back. Remember that close relationship between them. So if one is tight, it will affect the position of the other. So if your hamstrings are tight, your chances are that your pelvis will go into a posterior tilt. We want to be able to release the hamstrings, but still be able to reposition the pelvis without forcing anything. So here, we're going to let gravity take over and maybe allow your legs to move towards your tummy. If it works for you, you can bring your strap a little bit higher, maybe towards your ankles, and just allow them. You can hold onto the strap. You can bring your strap on the balls of the feet if you like, if you want to make sure that your feet are very flexed. But now try to relax your feet. So we're not putting much effort on the lower body. You can use the arms, the hands, and the strap to help the flexion of your feet, but don't bother if they're not wanting to flex, or if you don't have a strap handy and you're just doing it this way, just relax and let your legs fall over your tummy or towards your tummy, not over the tummy. And then breathe. No pressure on the neck. If you start feeling this is not for you, it's building too much pressure, it just doesn't feel right, move your legs away from your tummy. Just find that place that will be right for you today. Relax your face and relax your jaw. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. Now we may let the strap, just put it aside if you're using one, and then guide your legs so they are right over your hips. You can hold on to the sides of your bolster from the top or to the sides. Remember to keep your shoulders grounded. Flex your feet and spread your toes wide. And you do want to extend your legs as much as you can. Like if you were trying to push the back of your knees away from you, and if you were trying to push your toes towards you, you feel that engagement of your legs. Breathe in. And when you breathe out, soften your feet, soften your knees, and let your feet drop and bounce like if you were tapping your glutes with your feet. Until you finish that exhalation, keep bouncing your feet up and down, and then inhale, extend your legs, full inhalation, flex your feet, spread your toes. Remember, back of the legs push towards the front, toes towards you. And as you exhale, soften your feet, soften your legs, soften your knees, and bend your knees and bounce your feet. Let them go up and down. Maybe you are tapping your glutes. And then when you're ready to inhale again, extend, flex, push, and breathe. And then when you exhale, soften and bounce. Inhale, extend. And exhale, soften and bounce. And continue at your own pace. This one is great for your blood, your circulation. If you have any concerns with inflammation of your legs or varicose veins, this is going to help with that. One more. And when you finish that exhalation, bring your knees in, maybe hold, you don't have to. Guide the knees towards the armpits and hold onto the inside of the legs, the creases of the legs with your hands. Now from here, almost in a butterfly position with your toes touching, you're gonna use your hands to push your knees wide apart. Just guide your legs, so make sure that your hips are happy with this stretch. You can use your hands, but don't put too much force into this. This is a gentle stretch. And once you're ready, start extending your legs. Once again, we're going to hamstring stretch. We're going to get right into the groin and inner line of the hamstrings, although we're working with external rotation of the hips because your toes might be pointing out to the sides. You don't have to fully extend your knees, just make sure it feels right. Depending what feels right for you, you may rest the elbows on the floor, hold onto the underneath the legs, under the legs, so that you don't go full out. If you need more extension, if you want to go a little deeper, then you may rest your hands on the inner thighs, just putting a little bit of extra weight on the legs. You can relax your feet, no need to keep flexing like you would do in Hatha Yoga. Just find your breath and don't let your mind wander. Continue to breathe deeply. Remember that we are targeting the Muladhara chakra, which is from the base of the spine, targets the legs, the feet. And Muladhara chakra is also connected with fears and anxieties, which often reflects as physical pain, accidents. So we just really want to send the prana as far down into the tummy, into the lower parts of the body. You can even visualize the energy moving from the toes all the way up. And when you exhale, remember to visualize the energy that doesn't feel right anymore. Just let it out. It can be a thought, it can be a limitation, it can be a fear, whatever that is for you. Just exhale and let it out. And as you inhale, just allow this new pranic flow to enter, to refresh your energy with new ideas and inspirations and light. And then exhale whatever it is that feels heavy. Couple more breaths. Remember, you can support your legs or get a little deeper into the stretch, whatever is fine. When you are ready, you're gonna hold onto the outside of the legs, maybe elbows on the floor. Support your legs and start bending your knees slowly. We're gonna move slowly and mindfully. And then using your arms, guide your knees closer together. Try to use your arms rather than your hips or your legs. And once your knees are together, it is your choice if you want to hold onto the top of the legs, the back of the legs, or if you just want to let gravity send your legs closer to your chest and relax your hands by your sides. Whichever version works, we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. And when you're ready, slowly and with control, start guiding your knees away from the body. Bring your feet on the floor, extend your legs one at a time. Once again, checking in with the hips and with the lower back. If that feels right, we're gonna stay here for a few moments. There is going to be some tenderness after being in a rounded position of the back, extending the legs. You may get a lot of sensation across the hips, across the lower back. And we're going to, instead of trying to shake it off, we're gonna try to just assimilate that sensation, breathe through it. Don't let your mind wander. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. When you're ready, slowly and with control, bend your knees and bring your foot soles onto the floor. Squeeze your bum, pick up the hips, and move your bolster out of the way. Slowly and mindfully return to the ground. Extend your legs when you get there, and notice how close your legs, your hips feel to the floor. We're gonna stay here for a few moments. Depending on your shoulders, you can have your strap handy. You can try with the strap and without it. Also, if you have a block or a blanket and you would like some support under your head, you're welcome to place something under the head. We're going to bring our legs wide apart in a star pose posture, like towards the outer corners of the mat. And then hold the strap with one end of the strap with your right hand and the other end maybe with your left hand, and bring your arms up towards the top of the mat like in a star pose once again. Now from here, move your upper body towards the right, and you can be holding on to each end of the strap, a little wider, a little shorter, whatever works for your shoulders. Once again, there is no rule of bringing the hands 1 or 2 feet apart. Maybe you want to have them really far apart. Draw your shoulders into their sockets and hinge to your right, feeling that gentle squeeze on the side. Then keep your feet apart for now, so you have them about mat width apart, maybe a little wider, and then start walking that left leg in towards the right. And just notice if you're able to take it all the way to touch the right. Maybe not, and that's okay. You can stay here, or if you want more and if it feels right, you may cross that left ankle over the right. This is going to give you a deeper extension on the left hip. You want to think about expanding into the left side. And although you are squeezing gently into the right, you're not collapsing, you're not parting your, or how you say that, like cutting your right side in two. Like you still have a little bit of length on your waist on the right side. And breathe deeply. Into the left. So I guess what I mean on the right side, it would look like the inner edge of a half moon rather than looking like a folded paper, if that makes any sense. Keep your face and your jaw relaxed and make sure you adjust if you need to. The focus is on the lower body. So the upper body is, that's why you have your strap. So you're just allowing a gentle stretch on the upper body, but not so intense that your shoulders start complaining. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. Very slowly, mindfully, uncross your legs if you have them and allow your left leg to go out towards the corner of the mat. And then bring your upper body back to center. Let go of the strap, bring your hands by your sides, palms facing up. Take a few moments here. Feeling the prana moving. Maybe you notice that it's moving a little easier on the left side. We're going to open the right nadi or the Pingala nadi. So when you're ready, extend your arms, hold the strap, maybe keep the same distance between the arms. Unless it was too much and you need to keep more distance, that's okay too. And the first step is just to hinge a little bit towards the left. Just allow your body to find that place that feels right and then start bringing the right leg closer to the left until you feel that gentle stretch through the hip. You can stay here and breathe, or you can bring that right leg over the left, crossing the legs and just making sure your hips stay square to the mat. Adjust your head so it's okay for your neck. Relax and breathe deeply.
Let's take one more breath here, full deep breath. When you're ready, uncross your legs and bring the right leg to the corner of the mat. Slowly and mindfully, walk your body to center. Don't force with the strap. Release your hands by your hips, palms facing up. When you are ready, slowly and with control, you're gonna help yourself onto your tummy. No fancy way to get there, just roll around.
And once on your belly, you may bring your big toes to touch and rest your head on your hands. Relax here in your crocodile position. Take your time as you rest your forehead on your hands just to adjust your pelvis. So you may move your hips side to side until you find center and breathe. On your next inhalation, press your arms down onto the floor, lift your head, your chest, and then walk your elbows in towards each other so that they land right below the shoulders. You can bring your feet mat width apart. Especially if you find that your lower back bothers you here, you can walk your feet even farther apart. If not, you can have them hip distance apart. Just make sure that it feels right. Then we're going to hug the elbows to make sure that they are shoulder width, not wider. If this feels too much, you can walk your elbows a little bit forward and relax your shoulders back without trying to draw the blades together. Just enough so that we are not sending the shoulders forward. Depending on the neck, you may be looking down on your hands or between the hands, or you may be looking slightly forward or straight ahead, or maybe you look slightly up without pinching the neck. Relax your feet, relax your legs. If this is comfortable for you, you're gonna stay here and breathe. If you would like a little deeper extension through your hip flexors, you may bend your knees and bring your feet towards the glutes. You can adjust your hips. This might put some demand or more demand on your back, so make sure you adjust, don't overdo it. You can flex your feet as well. Check which one feels better for you. It will engage your hamstrings differently, so just pay attention and pick the one that will be best. No right or wrong, the body has different needs and they change from day to day, so just make sure you listen what is asking for today. Massaging your internal organs with every breath and also stimulating the lymph nodes of your belly. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. And when you're ready, bring your gaze down, relax your feet. You can keep your legs here bent if you want. And maybe move your head side to side, tracing your collarbone, stretching the sides of the neck. Come back to center, bring your gaze to the center. We started with Supta Baddha Konasana. We're going to do the same thing, but from a pronated position. So you're gonna bring your foot toes to touch and let your knees go wide. Then you may allow your feet to go down towards the floor. So you don't have to touch the floor with your feet. You may, but you don't have to even try. Just let gravity take over. And if that's too much, control the fall and bring your feet a little bit higher. Now from here, stack your hands at the center of the mat, one on top of the other, elbows out to the sides. Press your forehead down and breathe. Once you get your forehead onto the hands, you want to measure your pelvis just like you do when you rest on your back. You want your hip bones and your pubic bone at the same level. And watch your breath. On your next inhalation, bring your feet up towards the sky. Walk your knees closer together. Release your feet onto the floor and at your own time, help yourself onto your back again.
Those were my elbows if you heard something cracking. You're welcome to place your pillows, bolsters under your legs, under your head, both. We're gonna rest on Shavasana for a few moments. You wanna find full relaxation. Return to your breath, maybe returning to Dirga Pranayama, 3-part breath. And just pay attention, how does the breath feel after opening the channels of energy, the nadis? How is your body feeling compared to the first time when you came into this position? How is your mind doing after you gave it a few moments of stillness while you were watching the breath? And just holding an image, a word, a person, a situation that you're most grateful for. And just hold it in your mind as you breathe and infuse it with your love and prana, with your loving kindness. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. Send your breath and awareness down to your feet and wiggle your toes. Move your feet side to side. Wiggle your fingers. And stretch your arms overhead. Bring your legs closer together. And tense and stretch and squeeze every muscle tight, tight, tight. Prune face. And exhale, release. And we'll do it again. Maybe flex or point your feet and squeeze tight, tight, tight. Exhale, release. Last one, make it count. Breathe in. And tense. And breathe out. Let all tension go. Find your way onto your side when you're ready. And take a few moments here.
We're going to use the top hand to help ourselves up on the next exhalation. Once you come up onto your seated position, remember you have your props to sit up tall. You can extend your legs, cross them, or bring one leg on top of the other, and it will be different for everybody. Just do what it feels right. Once you find your neutral seated position, bring your hands together at the center of the heart. Draw your shoulders just slightly back so they land right over the hips. Tuck your chin slightly. Relax your jaw. We're going to seal our practice with our metta mantra. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I be brave. May I be peaceful. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you be brave. May you be peaceful. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all be safe. May all be brave. May all be peaceful. Inhale through your nostrils, expand. And through your nostrils, exhale. Inhale to Om. Om. Observe. Tuck your chin onto your chest and open your eyes and gaze forward. And we're going to build up the extra prana and shower ourselves with that. And then we shake off, as always, whatever it is that we do not need to take. Thank you so much. Namaste.